And Eric for today's program.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Angel Tassi, Eric Raymer, hanging out with you today, helping you get your business right. We do that by reminding you that small business is big business, and your business is our business. Fine. How do you do to you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much. But I got to ask a couple questions.
Oh, boy.
Are you making some mistakes?
This is like my parents asking,
what did you do?
Do you have something that you need to tell me?
Do you have something
I don't think so.
Come on now. Come on now.
Okay, I did.
Okay,
whatever it was, right? I'm sorry
we don't even have to know. We just have to ask the right questions. Well, Bill Green, the author and CEO of Lending One, says that if you are making these three mistakes, your company is probably suffering from BS. Bad service.
Bad service.
Bad customer service. So let's kind of go through it and find out. He says, think about it. If you go into a restaurant and the host or the hostess is on their phone, not paying attention,
right?
As the customer, you're kind of aggravated, right? You're not getting the attention that you deserve. Always kind of a bummer when you're the one standing in line and the person who calls in from their home gets better attention than you do.
Right.
What about if the waiter never checks back to see if you need anything once your food has arrived?
That's BS.
He says these little things greatly impact the way a person perceives your business. And he says they are all easy to fix. How about this example? How often do you actually go see your doctor or your dentist or your hairdresser or your chiropractor or your massage therapist and they see you at the time that you scheduled?
It never happens.
Right? Also, another level of BS, bad service, right?
Yeah, right.
As someone who has built multiple companies, he says, you don't win on price comparison. You win on customer service. And he says this is one of the most important parts of any industry, how you communicate with your customers, how you deliver on their expectations. He says that this is what has that direct correlation for how likely they are to come back.
And you want them to come back. I mean, the whole idea of, working so hard to get these customers is to retain them so that you can leverage that relationship and maybe even they'll bring other customers for you.
Okay. So what is GS? Good service.
Good service.
Right?
Great service?
Great service.
Okay. GS. I have a PhD in
extreme customer service, right? Set expectations, he says, and reinforce them whenever possible. Your employees have to learn, you have to train them on what good customer service is because they're going to do the bare minimum.
Yeah, if you tell them that it's acceptable to do that bare minimum,
they will.
They will rise to that level and stay there.
They will stay there. We find that great customer service filters down from the top. So if the top management doesn't put a focus on great customer service, neither will your employees. And even if your employees do put a great emphasis on great customer service, if it's not complemented by upper management, it will get fizzled out.
It really will. The leadership has to come from the top down. And listen, when you're in an industry where you've got a lot of competition, differentiation happens at the service level. And you can literally head and shoulders separate yourself by, giving some serious thought to GS.
To GS, what are your what are the kind of the stone walls, the little cogs in the system with your competition that you could tweak and improve and beat them when it comes to customer service?
Can you do it faster?
Somebody's always going to be cheaper. So we don't ever want to compete on price. We only want to compete on service.
That's exactly right. Can you win with speed? Can you win with service?
All right. Number 2, make sure that everyone in the company understands their role. He says it has to be a metric, something that you can accurately measure. At his company, Lending One, he says, we measure how many sales calls get missed per day. He says, that's BS, bad customer service, bad service. He says to every employee in our company, we distribute a daily count of how many calls were missed the day before. And even if there's even one missed call, my sales manager gives me a ring and tells me not only what happened, but how it will be fixed. Because this is a big deal. Yeah. He says to miss a call in our company. That's the primary measure for great customer service.
I've got a buddy who runs a body shop, and he's insane about his customer service. He calls it the guest experience. And in the guest experience over at Nyland's Collision Center, if the phone rings twice, that's the max. If it rings 3 times, somebody is getting the what for.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you're not measuring what great customer service looks like for your team, they won't. And so helping your employees drive towards measuring those measures, how many rings, that's always something we can measure, right?
Right.
We can hear it. We know it. And when it's gone to 3, we've gone beyond the acceptable measure. So, but it's a boundary.
Yep.
It's a defined metric that we can measure. How long will people wait? How long, how much time for service? How quickly can we do this? Instead of days, can we do it in hours? Instead of hours, can we do it in minutes? And instead of minutes, can we even cut that down? Without sacrificing, obviously,
Sure.
Anything else at the space. But we have to figure out that we have to put customer service as a metric that we're measuring. So often in business, the only things that we measure are numbers, dollar signs, right? Revenue and dollars and number of customers. But we have to be able to have a level that we can actually measure service that we can train our employees to adhere to.
This is something that's measurable. And again, we're talking about how to avoid BS.
Bad service.
Bad service, right? Mm-hmm. And if you don't deliver on what you promise, that's BS.
That is bad service.
Right?
If it says that you return calls within 24 hours and you don't,
bad for business. BS.
Bad service. Mm-hmm. Bad service. He says, think about it like this. If it isn't broken, fix it anyway.
Every business should always be looking to improve the way they service their customers. If you're at 96%, why not shoot for 98? If you can close a day in 10 loans.
Can you close a loan in 10 days?
What?
You said, can you close a day in 10 loans?
Oh, I did? Sorry. You can close a loan in 10 days. Why not work to get it down to 8 days?
Yeah. So,
or 8 loans.
Always the mindset of how can we do this better? I knew a dentist who at the end of the day, they always pulled together and rallied the team together and talked about their wins. They talked about their successes. And then what can we do better? Orange Theory, where we work out, they are always looking to up their game when it comes to their level of customer service and how they're treating their members. Did you know that they've been in town for 6 years? Orange Theory.
6 years.
They opened up here in Colorado, and today they have over 23,000 members.
It's amazing, and that's just here in Colorado, right?
Mm-hmm. They are nationwide.
Nationwide company out of Florida and the Colorado. You and I were given the wonderful opportunity to speak to and train those staff before even the first door was open.
Yeah, we've actually been able to go in a couple times and train the staff over at Orange Theory on their extreme customer service. Actually, many companies here in town, because without the relationships, none of this. The only way we're going to compete in this busy market, right? Unless we're going to be a complete game changer and disruptor to the industry. And if you've got a big budget for advertising, if you've got a big budget of time for out networking, right, so much of what you're doing is bringing in brand new customers. But if you can't retain the customers you have, then it's going to be a real expensive endeavor to keep your doors open.
And by the way, if you still think that maybe you can compete based on being a low price provider, unless your business is Walmart, right. It's a bad game. Well, it's a bad game.
Anybody can do it cheaper. And do you really want to play that game anyways? Let's win them over with value and service. That's the one thing. Like, we can outsource so many things. You can put so many things on an app. They could do self-service. It's, do it yourself, automation systems, everybody that could be the leveling of the playing field. So what's the differentiator? It's the service.
It is.
Don't you just love it when you go somewhere where they remember your name, where they look you in the eye, where they pay attention to you, where they greet you and they try to help you and add more value to what it is that you're doing?
Because you feel like they know you and they feel like they know you, because it doesn't matter what business you're in.
You're in the relationship business. So many people are feeling unseen and invisible, and as if we don't matter, even as connected as we are on social media and online and through the digital age, we feel disconnected. How can we make people feel special? Offer them great customer service.
There it is right there. All right, gang, we're going to take a quick break, but you are listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, home of positive business talk. And for the archives of this broadcast and everything that we do, go check out experiencepros.com. It's experiencepros.com. Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer back after these messages.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the